My name is Marcos Mercado, and I'm an evangelist with the Greater Philadelphia Church of Christ. And I was actually converted when I was 16 years old in the Bronx region of the New York City Church of Christ. And the question was asked of me if, as a teen disciple converted, not growing up in the church, I was actually what I would consider a pagan kid. What advice would I have for a teen worker? And I would say, obviously, there are tons of things, and the biggest one is, really to make sure that if you commit to be a teen worker, making sure that you are a great disciple, a great example, because that makes a huge difference. I mean, obviously, we all know that teenagers are able to spot a fraud really, really quickly, but especially someone that comes from the world. I mean, you just need to see that contrast. You want to see someone that's genuine, someone that's real, and really someone that's going to challenge you, have an expectation. I think one of the biggest things that made a difference in my life was my teen worker, the first guy that ever discipled me, who's also an evangelist, Mike Patterson, who's now in Atlanta. He expected me to be a disciple just like anyone else, not a difference in terms of because I was a teenager. So he actually trained me and taught me as a teenager to study the Bible with people and even count the cost and baptize them just as if I was an adult. If I was old enough to sin, then I was also old enough to make disciples. So that would be my biggest advice that I would have for you guys as teen workers. Thank you.
My name is Michelle Cameron. I became a Christian when I was 13 years old, and my husband and I now serve in the ministry and lead the teens and campus ministries in Palm Beach County, that's in South Florida. And my advice to teen workers is being a teen worker is probably the best role in the whole entire church, but I respect teen workers so much, and because I myself, when I was a teen, had awesome teen workers that challenged me a lot. And I think for teen workers, to really help their teens to help them be open, to help them be vulnerable. I know sometimes it's hard to be open with parents, but to really be that person that they can come to and feel comfortable with, and then for that teen worker to then challenge them and hold them to biblical standards. I think it's a great, the teen worker can become so close to a teen, and a teen building that trust and that rapport with each other is probably the best thing that a teen worker can do.
Hi, my name's Alex. This is my wife, Rashida. I'm 26 now. I was baptized when I was 17 as a teen in a teen ministry. Neither of my parents were Christians, so I was met by a friend who invited me to church. We now both work with the teens in the East London Church of Christ, East London, UK, and yeah.
My name's Rashida. I'm 26 also. I was baptised when I was 18. Graduated through the teen ministry, was in the student ministry, and since then I've been working with the teens in East London along with my husband Alex. Really enjoying it.
Cool.
What bit of advice would you give?
My advice to the teen leaders anywhere would be to commit. When you commit to a relationship with a teen, commit to a long-term relationship. It's not going to be a short-term thing, and that's a blessing because you're building friends. Hopefully you're discipling people who will disciple you in the future. Be ready to go to their weddings in a few years. They might end up discipling you one day.
Or your kids.
Or your kids, exactly. Yeah. So be in there for the long haul, and that's a blessing. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
One piece of advice I'd give is to have integrity. Teens do not like it when you make promises that you cannot keep, so please have integrity and be sincere with your love, because they can tell when you're lying. Not even lying, but when you pretend to love, it's obvious. So try and be sincere. So if you haven't got the love in your heart, pray until it comes. Okay, that's the only bit of advice I'd say at the moment, but thank you.
Thank you. Greetings from London. We love you. We love you guys, man. Come on.
Hey, my name is Jonathan Lang. I live in the greater Pittsburgh area. I was baptized when I was 13 years old in Triangle, North Carolina. I'm now 26 years old, so just this past summer, have now lived half of my life as a Christian. And do not regret for 1 second the decision to become a Christian when I did. Had I not become a Christian when I was 13, I'm not sure if I would have made it later. So definitely grateful for that decision. If I could give one piece of advice for teen workers, I think it would just be to be a great example and help them to understand that the life as a Christian is a better life. I know when I grew up, a lot of times I would see cool campus and singles people, and I would hear their stories before they became a Christian, and I almost felt like, I need a cool story like that. I need a cool story to tell, and I need scars to show it. You need to show them that the way of life in the world is empty. In the world is empty. There's nothing there. It's not cool. It's not something to be proud of. It's not a war story. It's a painful memory, and being a Christian is the most fulfilling way you can live.
Hi, my name is Bizad Fati. I'm currently the evangelist for Potomac Valley Church of Christ. I became a Christian in 1987 in Boston. That's 21 years ago, and I actually came from a Muslim background, so I went back as a missionary to Turkey, planted the church there, and was there for 8 years with my wife and kids, and also in Cyprus. And I think the advice I have for team leaders is you have a very special job. I hope you realize it, because people like me are eternally indebted. But specifically, the thing I want to say is have a dream for your teams. If it wasn't for my team leaders believing in me, I wouldn't have lasted my first year as a Christian. I was a senior in high school. There was lots of temptations, and yet they really believed in me and had a specific dream for me, and they began training me from day one with lots of Bible, lots of encouragement, and they continue to ask me to have a dream and a vision for my life. And because of that, today I am where I am. So your role is very, very important.